generate coverage, right? And you've obviously been very good at generating coverage by winning the biggest bike races. But internally, are you now looking at ways of generating that coverage that don't involve just yellow jerseys?
Yeah. So I won't say I'll generate the coverage, if I'm honest. Being brutally honest and look at myself in the mirror. Simon knows only too well, throughout when I started and particularly through the Olympic kind of programs, you're there to win, basically. You want to try and win a gold medal, and it's like a performance first sort of mentality and all of my kind of approach has always been about let's go and try and win, and I think if you get the win, then everything else looks after itself. But it's clearly that world's changed and it's changing. And I think, as we all know, that you don't need a team to promote an athlete now. An athlete promotes themselves directly to the fans, to the public, to whoever else. They've got their own Instagram, their own social media. They don't need the vehicle of a team. And again, I think when you look at what do people, I think many moons ago, Simon, we talked about respected and loved, didn't we? As being two elements of a team and a brand or whatever, and being very much a Marmite kind of team for a long time, I guess. People.
You got the love in the UK. I mean, there's definitely loved in the UK. I think it's so outside the UK.
Yeah,
definitely respected everywhere, I would say.
Yeah, and I think I guess the interesting, there's a broader piece and a personal piece, and I guess the personal narrative, if you like, which kind of brings it all, maybe sheds a bit of light on it, is I left home when I was 19 from Wales to go and try and be a racing cyclist. I wanted to be like Mitch. I want to be a Newton. I wanted to be a racer. There's nothing that I could think more than I wanted in the world than to be a bike racer. So I left my family, I left my girlfriend, I left everything behind, and off I went on my own. And I spent 3 years, got a team, and off I went and did my racing. And I loved it. And something pulled me, something about racing that pulled me, let me leave everything in my life behind to go and try and pursue that dream. And here I am. I get the chance to run a team, and lo and behold, then we start winning. And you realise pretty early on into this, this isn't maybe the most exciting way to win, but you're winning nonetheless. And you get caught then between, well, should we keep on winning or should we change the way we're doing it, And of course, push comes to shove, and it's very difficult not to keep on winning, And then late now, looking forward, and the experience of this year in particular, I think, have made me think, actually, if I'm going to continue doing this and stay involved, then I'd like nothing more than to have a team and help create a team where the riders ride, really race. It's like the word racing. We're not a team sport. We're not sharing a team in football or rugby or anything else, cricket or anything else. We race. And there's something about the mentality of a racer and how you race, and it takes all different types of racing brains and people and personality, but it's racing nonetheless. And I think that's the glue and the excitement that pulls everybody into our sport. So I'd like to have a team where whenever I finish, and this will be the last bit of my career, and then I'm off. But when I leave, and I'd like to transition out with a team that I'd loved when I was 19, like a cool as hell racing team. And I think that's what we kind of a little bit of what we've just been through with this season. And I think what it makes you think is actually, people got to be within a team structure. You've got to have the freedom to take the risk in order to be able to race. So you're not thinking, oh God, I'm not sure. Give people the freedom to do it. And then rather than pushing the team first, which obviously we did in the Sky days, Sky, and then behind you had all the different riders, and some of them were well known, and some of them maybe less well known, and came in and out. And I think that's changed. I think now it is about the individual, and I think promoting the individual characters and personality in racing, of course, is where it's at. It's what's happening on social media, what's the riders doing themselves, what people like the characters. People like to get to know the differences between the personalities of the riders, and of course when they go into a race and they show their flair or their determination or their doggedness, whatever else it may be. I think that's the bit